Hello, ESL 4. It is April 29th. That is Wednesday. We're going to continue with our book work and finish up our last unit today. Well, we're not going to finish today, but we're going to get there. So, let's take a look. Open your books to page 202, and this is where we'll begin. Okay? So, on page 202, Lesson 1, Investigating Citizenship. Part A, how can an immigrant become a permanent resident of the United States? Make a list of your ideas below. So this is just what you think needs to be done to become a permanent resident within the United States. So pause the video, take your time, and get your ideas out there, okay? Whatever you think, or some of you may have knowledge of this, becoming a permanent resident, I imagine. So list what you think needs to be done. And pause the video. Okay, I'm assuming that you paused the video and filled it all out. Let's take a look at the sample answers. So here are some of the, these are not going to be perfect, but these are the answers that they're going to give, okay? Sample answer. Live in the U.S. a long time on a visa and then apply. You come to the U.S. on a work visa, you've been working here for a while on that work visa, and you're like, you know what? I'd like to be a permanent resident of the United States. So you file through USCIS saying that I've worked here for 5 years. I'm filing for a residency status. Number 2, marry a U.S. citizen. That is true. Lots of people marry U.S. citizens abroad and they are granted a permanent residency visa, a green card. And they last for 10 years. Well, first, when you get married, there's a 2-year period, and then you refile, and then you get a 10-year permanent residency visa. Next, get a job in the United States with a work visa. See, that one, the first one was a little, I don't know what type of visa you'd be on then, to live in the U.S. a long time on a visa and then apply it. The only one I can think of is a work visa, but I guess it's a double count. Hopefully some of you put work visa on there. Join a family member who is already a citizen. Okay. Sure, they can bring you over on a visa for permanent residency. Maybe if you've lived here for a while, you can have your parents come over. Okay. All of this is going through the USCIS. So here are the sample answers. If you thought of anything else, make a mark about it. And to the best of my ability, these are the 4 ways that I can think of. Number 5 is maybe DACA would be one. The children that came over in the federal government said that they were citizens, but that's kind of a gray area nowadays, which is pretty sad to me. But let's move on. B. Predict. Several students in Miss Morgan's class want to become permanent residents of the United States. Read about each non-resident below and decide if you think he or she is eligible to become a permanent resident. Write yes or no. So you're going to pause the video and read these sentences, okay, and write yes, they are eligible, no, they are not. So pause the video and fill this in right now. Okay, I'm going to assume that you guys filled in your answers, and we're going to go through this together. Now this one, I do not see sample answers. So, I will give you my best guess, okay? Han has been living in the U.S. since 1995. She recently became engaged to a U.S. citizen. Is she eligible? Yes, she is eligible for a marriage visa, okay? And then once she is married, so you can get a fiance visa, and once she is married, she will be eligible. So this is, if you had put no, I can see why, but I'm leaning more towards yes, okay? Because after she's married, she's eligible to be a U.S. citizen. Number 2, Sadiq is a refugee from Iraq who has been here for 6 months. Is he eligible? I don't know if 6 months is what the time period is to be eligible. But I would say yes, refugee status allows you to become eligible to be a citizen, but I don't know the time period. 6 months seems like you could start applying. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. So if you put yes, I'd say that's okay. Ella is 35 and her mother just became a permanent resident. Is she eligible? Well, from up here, remember that they said, join a family member who is already a citizen. So I would say no, because her mother is a permanent resident. She's not a citizen yet. Philip has lived in the U.S. since 1965. Is he eligible? I don't know more on his background. I guess if he's lived here since 1965, he could try it because we have lived in the U.S. a long time on a visa and then apply. But it doesn't tell us if Philippe has been living here on a visa since 1965. So this one I would put no. Enrique's wife just became a permanent resident. Is he eligible? Again, permanent resident is different from being a citizen. So I think that might have been a trick question. And I would say no for that one as well. Just because they are residents doesn't mean he is eligible to become a permanent resident. I might be wrong. I kind of wish they would have given me the correct answers for this. So this is my best guess. I would say he is eligible to come to the United States and apply for permanent residency. So maybe this would be a yes. Okay. So let's head over to the next one. Read the following information found on the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service website, USCIS. You may be eligible to apply for adjustment to permanent residency status if you are already in the United States and if one or more of the following categories apply to you. So we should be able to find the answers for those last ones in this. Family member. You are the spouse, parent, unmarried child under age 21, the unmarried son or daughter over age 21, the married son or daughter, or the brother or sister of a United States citizen, and have a visa petition approved on your behalf. You are the spouse or unmarried son or daughter of any age of a lawful permanent resident, and you have a family-based visa petition approved on your behalf. So, if we come back here to 202, Enrique's wife just became a permanent resident. Is he eligible? Yes. If he has the right paperwork, he's eligible. Okay, good. Her mother just became a permanent U.S. resident. Is she? Yes. So Ella is also a yes. Okay. Because her mother became one, and we're just going to assume Ella's not married. Okay, because it says here, if the unmarried son or daughter over the age of 21. Okay. So if we come back, employment. You are an alien who has an approved visa petition filed on your behalf by a United States employer. Let's come back here. And that does not answer any of these. So move back over. Fiance. You are a fiance who was admitted to the United States on a K-1 visa and then married a U.S. citizen who applied for a K-1 visa for you. Your unmarried minor children are also eligible for adjustment of status. If you did not marry the U.S. citizen who filed the K-1 petition on your behalf, or if you married another U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, you are not eligible to adjust status in the United States. Okay. So, for the fiance one, come on. There we go. Come down here. Hannah is engaged to a U.S. citizen. Is she eligible? Yes, she is. Let's head back over to 203. Asylum, asylee, asylee, that's how you say that. Sorry, I have to say asylum first for my pronunciation to be correct. Asylee. You are an asylee or refugee who has been in the United States for at least a year after being given asylum or refugee status and still qualify for asylum or refugee status. So, this one, our good friend Sadiq from Iraq, he has only been here for 6 months, so no, he is not eligible. Like I said before, I don't know what the time period was, but apparently it's got to be at least a year. So Sadiq is a no. Okay, so change that if you put that incorrectly or if I confused you earlier. Okay, let's come down here. Diversity visa. You receive notice from the Department of State that you have won a visa in the diversity visa lottery. Diversity visa wasn't on there, but there's so many given out a year. U.S. resident since before 01/01/72. You have been a continuous resident of the United States since before January 1st, 1972. Oh, that does answer one of our questions. So if you come in here, we take a look. Where is he? Felipe has lived in the U.S. since 1965. Is he eligible? Yes, I got that one wrong, you guys. I totally thought that was a no. So yes, he's eligible because he has been living here since before 1972. Oh, that's a fun fact. You learn something new every day. Okay. Parents' lawful permanent resident status, LPR. Your parent became a lawful permanent resident after you were born. You may be eligible to receive following to join benefits if you are the unmarried child under age 21 of the lawful permanent resident. In these cases, you may apply to adjust to permanent resident status at the same time that your parent applies for following to join benefits for you. Okay, so this is the under 21. Remember that over 21, the family member applied to that other woman. Spouse's LPR status. Your spouse became a lawful permanent resident after you were married. You may be eligible to receive following to join benefits. In these cases, you may apply to adjust to permanent resident status at the same time that your spouse applies for the following to join benefits for you. So, the spouse one, Enrique's wife just became a permanent resident. Is he eligible? Yes, he may apply for it because his wife had become a permanent resident. Okay, good. So the only one on here, I believe that was a no. So she's a yes. He is a no because it's only 6 months. He needs a year. Yes. Yes. And yes. Good deal. So what I want you guys to do, so I already did this while we were going through it. Here's the answer key. Yeah, but she's eligible. That one was a little confusing. Let's show all. So 1 year for Sadiq. This one's confusing. This is if they did not apply for a K-1 visa for her. So this is a technicality. I would have assume they apply for a K1 visa, but apparently, if they did not, okay, it's a no. If they did, it's a yes. This is a really confusing question to ask. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay. I wonder if I can. But so they're saying no if her fiance did not apply for a K1 visa for her. Like I said before, it depends on if they file for the fiance visa. That's a K1 visa apparently. No, because he's only been there for 6 months. Yes, because if she is unmarried. Remember I said we're going to assume that she's unmarried. So she is the daughter of a permanent resident. Yes, he has been a continuous U.S. resident since before 010172. That was a gentleman who's been here since 1965, Felipe, I believe it was. And yes, he may be eligible to receive following to join benefits. For number one, it's a no if her fiance did not apply for a K1 visa for her. It is a yes if he did apply for a K1 visa for her. This one could have gone either way. Okay? And what I would like you to do to finish up is to read through this one more time. Okay? Just for fun. Give it one more read. And I don't really have anything else to follow up on that. So yeah, just give it one more read, and that will end your work for tonight. I hope all of you are doing super well. I miss all of you. You guys, your attendance has been great. Thank you so much. Just by checking in, it gives us hours, and we get to report them to the grant office. So you're really helping the program by just staying with it. I hope I've made it easier for you guys. I know a lot of people in other classes have dropped off because I know it's complicated right now, so I did these videos just to make your guys' life easier. And I really hope you're doing well. Please send me a text so I can put you in the attendance so we can log it, send it to the government telling us that you guys have been coming to class so our program can keep funding. That's really based on funding at this point. And you guys are wonderful. And I know you're watching the movies, and I know you're doing your journals, and I know you're working hard, and I know you're doing great with the grammar, and I'm so proud of you during these difficult times. So keep being awesome. I cannot wait to have you guys in a regular classroom again so we can do more discussion on this stuff. This is actually a really fun subject, and I'm kind of sad that we don't get to be in class and have our big discussions with you guys talking a lot, because that's really good for your English. Again, I miss you, and just take care and keep doing what you're doing.